night here in Central Oregon, and we're so happy to be back with you on Bend Elks YouTube. I'm your voice of the Bend Elks, Aiden O'Neill, up here in the broadcast booth per usual, and coming off a night that was spectacular. But you only can hope that a night after, and the beauty of playing baseball is you have a 3-game series, that we're due for an encore. But before we even dig into this one, you got to take a trip back down memory lane, or maybe just 24 hours, to see how Nate Snakenborg ultimately ended the Ridgefield Raptors with one swing of the bat. He came up with the bases loaded. He delivered on a knock into left field, and it was so poetic that the third walk-off of the season came in that fashion. Morrison had to exit. You see all the angles on a ball that wasn't hit particularly hard, but it still found the outfield grass, and a party in between first and second. Snake threw the bat and the helmet, and everybody celebrated. But you start today 0-0, and the game completely resets. The Elks tonight send a completely new face to the mound. The Bend Elks debut of the right-hander out of St. Mary's, Finn Chapman. Stepping in from the left side is Michael Perazzo, who fouls it away. We get started just 2 minutes behind schedule at 6:37 p.m. Happy to have Finn Chapman with these Elks. You'll see a fastball in the low 90s. Key for him is just keeping the command strong, as the 0-1 is tapped to Jace Miller at first. He'll touch the base, and that's how this ball game gets started. With that, we'll take a look at the Ridgefield Raptors lineup for tonight. Braden Orem stepping up from the right side. The former Bend Elk, then it's Carson Luna, Josh Proctor, Braden Watson, Isaiah Hearn, Reagan McCluskey, Jackson Weber, all the same faces besides Reed Farrell from a night ago in that 9-hole. Good start for Chapman, immediately getting in the zone. And that one misses a touchdown. Home plate umpire tonight, Kyle Sisk. On the bases, Henry DeJesus. We were really impressed last night with how good Henry DeJesus was behind the dish. So Sisk looking to back up that good game. One heater runs down and away. There's a look at DeJesus next to Jace Miller, and a collection of Elks outside of the dugout. They're ready for a screaming line drive. Orem with a big swing and a miss. Elks in their all-white home unis. Those new hats this year, I love them. 3-toned. The ones last year were gorgeous too, but much more basic. Just the white and then the black cap with the brim. 2-1. Orem chases down. Orem, a super utility man that was at MSU Denver last year alongside former Bend Elk Easton Amundsen. And Braden Orem, just 3 at-bats so far with Ridgefield. He just joined the team earlier this week. And Chapman freezes him on the breaking ball. His first strikeout as a Bend Elk comes looking on a perfect pitch. That is one where Braden Orem was simply fooled and did not expect a breaking ball coming out of the hands. That one was utilized in a bunch of different roles with St. Mary's, one of those being midweek starter. This is the righty Carson Luna, who swings through the first pitch he sees. Luna last night was our player to watch. Had the pleasure of hosting the West Coast League Game of the Week. And boy, oh boy, did it deliver. A 10-inning thriller. Elks win it 7-6. Just missed off the plate there. 1-1. The Luna, one of those guys coming out of Michigan with all the talent in the world. Grounds this one, though, to the shortstop, Will Goodman. Coming in on the run is throw to first, a high stretch from Jace Miller. but a 1-2-3 opening frame for Finn Chapman. Can't ask for a better way to start your Bend Elks debut. Elks coming up in the home half when we come back.
Elks is out here with a local celebrity.
Bottom of the first inning here at Genna. Elks get the Raptors down in order in the top half, and now we'll look to get the offense going early like they did 24 hours ago. Keaton Nato will dig in against the southpaw, Parker Heinz. And Heinz will fire in a fastball at 88 that misses down and away. Three lefties Chris Cota and the Raptors are throwing out this weekend. Tough task for the Elks, and the way they're combating it is with 9 right-handed batters in the lineup tonight. Heinz has been good, a 3.48 ERA, 28 Ks, a 106 whip. Tough guy to barrel up most definitely at 6'3" out of Fresno State. His fastball misses away. Keaton Nato was in the lineup last night, batting in the 3-hole, which was a unique spot for him as a run producer. Had 1 hit, but that RBI count at 10. Main reason why he found himself in that spot. It's been good. Take low on the 2-1. Tyler Walker, who started for the Raptors last night, struggled. The Elks scored in the first 3 frames of the ballgame. And it set the tone for what looked to have been a Bend Elks victory that they coasted to, but the Raptors had an answer for basically every punch. Nato fouls it straight back. What was more impressive than anything that Nato did in the box last night was his defense. It was one of our first looks at him in right field. And he truly plays a big league outfield. That bat can come along for the ride consistently. A bright, bright future. Yes, he'll take ball 4 on a fastball from Heinz that misses up. Those leadoff walks, especially to the leadoff man, they hurt. Looking at the rest of the order, I mentioned already 9 righties. Troy Sanders, Jace Miller, Wynn Gurney, Richie Klosik, the 2 LMU boys back-to-back. Isaac Pfeiffer, happy birthday, batting in the 6th hole. Then Will Goodman, Hayden Smith, and Brady Pettit. Nato, the team's leading base stealer, off of first. And the first pitch to Sanders is tapped to the shortstop in Perazo. Goes to second for 1, the throw back to first. A 6-4-3 double play. So just 1 pitch after that leadoff walk. That rally ended. And we'll bring up Jace Miller. Parker Heinz just 7 pitches thrown against the first 2 batters. Jace Miller, who stepped up last night in a big spot, makes a huge swing and a miss. Look at the Raptors' defense tonight. Michael Perazo just made that play at short, but it's Proctor, Hearn, and Farrell in the outfield. Luna, Perazo, Orm, and Weber with McCluskey in the squat. Miller fouls back the 0-1. See those skies there, not nearly as smoky as they were 24 hours ago. 90 degrees with wind at 12 miles per hour. It's not 90 degrees. It's warm. But we know what 90 feels like. Yesterday it felt that hot. 0-2 breaking ball misses away. Pierce is telling me yesterday it said 100. So for Uno, which is the program that's giving us this, I'd say there's a 10-degree buffer. If it says 90, it's probably 80. He's choking up on the bat from the right side. And crushes one to right field. Giving chase is the right fielder for Ridgefield. And Farrell, making his first start of the series, makes a nice catch. Elks got the leadoff runner on, and Nato with the walk. But after Troy Sanders batted into a double play, nothing more. We'll go to the second on Bend Elks YouTube. All right, in between innings, the good old Dizzy Bat race. Striped shirt almost, oh no, went into the field of play. And then the slip after you go through the finish line. That turf, man, we see the torn ACLs all the time at the professional level. This time, shoes just slip out from underneath him. Chapman got these hitters out in order in the top of the first. So he'll face the cleanup hitter, Josh Proctor, who golfs the ball down the left field line. Giving chase is Gurney near the line, and it ends up going out of play, foul. So many great in-between inning games here at Genna. Love the Dizzy Bad race. It's one of my favorites. I like the races too. When Baby Shark was a big thing, they did the shark race. Would play the music on the loudspeakers. As time is now called, I think Josh Proctor is going to get some more stickum for his bat. Didn't feel comfortable as that flew off and went down the left field line. Proctor hailing from Oregon State. Just a 200 OPS so far this summer after just a couple of games. And also after being with the Corvallis Knights a summer ago. Brooke Knight, the coach there, keeping him in town, with the Knights also playing at Goss Stadium. Chapman's 0-1. Way out in front is Proctor. Josh was in there last night, went 0 for 4 in the cleanup spot. Although the Raptors ultimately won or lost 7-6, they did out-hit the Elks by 11 hits to 10. Chapman looking good and gets Proctor fishing on a devious breaking ball. The second strikeout already. This completely broke down the swing of Proctor. Wicket. Brings up Braden Watson from the right side. Just seeing the same middle of the order makes me reflect on last night and how for the last 40 minutes of the game, the adrenaline was just pumping. I mean, what that game had to offer, going to extra innings, being as back and forth as it was, the Elks at one point were up 5-0, and here comes Ridgefield. It had all of the emotion, and we're sitting up here in the press box thinking, okay, now's the inning. Okay, maybe now. And that same feeling lasted for nearly an hour, which meant the heart rate was through the roof. Watson drives that one to deep left field. Gurney's going back. He's looking up at the wall, and it's gone. Braden Watson, 391 to left field, and the Raptors strike first. A solo shot from Watson. His 4th home run already in just his 35th at-bat of the summer. He has been on another level. Got a fastball right at the bottom of the zone. And a gorgeous two-handed finish deep into this evening sky. Bring up Isaiah Hearn, who hit one in a similar spot yesterday to the opposite field for a lefty bat that was a critical home run, keeping Ridgefield in it. 1-0 heater misses away. Chapman retired the first 4 batters of this game and then just gave up the solo shot to Watson. That heater runs down it in tight. Defense behind Finn Chapman. It's Gurney, Nato, and Klosick in the outfield. The 2 LMU boys on the corners. Pettit, Goodman, Sanders, Miller, and Hayden Smith behind the dish. Ball 4. Isaiah Hearn walks on 4 pitches. And Finn Chapman, after starting so strong, in some trouble. Hayden Smith recognizes the same thing and will call time to go and chat with him. Good efficiency when it comes to the pitch count, but that big swing from Watson got him laboring a bit more. From Vacaville, California, was an Oregon Duck, so back here in this great state. and went to St. Mary's for the last couple of seasons, and in each had an ERA over 10. This summer, an opportunity to hone things back in. As Reagan McCluskey will step in and take a strike. McCluskey has been great. Plays both catcher and first base. Was over at the corner infield spot yesterday. And an 878 OPS. Chapman's 0-1 is a good breaking ball that gets to the top of the zone. You know, generally you don't want a breaking ball to miss up there because it makes it a lot easier to hit for these hitters. Their eyes light up. But he's been effective at the top of the zone with the off speed. Turnoff of first has 4 stolen bases. He will run. That's flipped. Over the head of Goodman into shallow center field. And a bloop single keeps the line moving for Ridgefield. And an interesting inning for Chapman after a strong start. And now that digs in Jackson Weber, the ASU commit. Weber and McCluskey flip-flopped from a night ago. Weber was behind the dish. McCluskey on first. Good luxury for Coach Chris Cota, as that's fouled just down the third baseline. But a beautiful night for baseball, and good crowd on hand, not the same one we saw last night. Over 1,400. They showed out because they heard it was game of the week, of course. They got a walk-off winner. Still, the faithful back at Genna on Saturday. That 0-1 gets the call at the top of the zone once again. The breaking ball that just clips the highest edge possible. Weber yesterday 1 for 5 at the dish. Chapman's 0-2. This is down and away. Good stop from Hayden Smith. With Weber heading to ASU, joining a program that's searching to get over the hump when it comes to that next level after the NCAA regional. As high of a pedigree as you can possibly get, with 5 national championships to their name. Has to protect here. And Chapman gets him looking. Back to that breaking ball. And a great location for strikeout number 3. And Chapman just shaving that inner third, and Hayden Smith with the frame job.
It's tonight's game, Ridgefield. Elks fans, if he strikes out, you get $150 half off for the next 10 minutes.
This brings up tonight's K-Man, the 9-hole bat in Reed Farrell. Man, what's going through his head? I get the night off yesterday, and then I'm in it on Saturday, and you know how they reward me? K-Man. First at bat, everybody against me. 791 OPS for Farrell. On the year is punched out 11 times. This is away. Crowd's encouraging it. Carson, our lovely field PA guy, getting them loud. Reed Farrell, a Fresno State commit from Santa Clarita, California. Coming from the College of the Canyons. 1-1 is grounded foul. 2 strikes.
That's 2 strikes on the K-Man. If you want some cheap beer, make some noise.
Chance to get that cheap beer. Who doesn't love it? On second is Hearn. On first is McCluskey. Top of the second. 1-0 Raptors after the solo shot from Watson. Popped up. Foul territory. Miller gives it a look, and it's into the beer garden. We'll do it again. You know, if you're Miller in that situation, and if he had a chance to catch that fly ball over his shoulder, do you think about dropping it for the people in foul territory and you give your pitcher another chance? Regardless, Miller didn't have a shot. So Chapman gets another one. And he got him. Down and away. Smith cleans it up. And the K-Man goes down by way of it.
For the Raptors in the top of the second, one run on 2 hits and 2 runs.
Home half of the second. Raptors strike first on the solo shot from Braden Watson. They also went down in order with just 3 batters faced after the leadoff walk to Keaton Nadeau. So the cleanup man Gurney digs in and rips a base hit into left field at 107 off the bat. The second consecutive night that Gurney hit that mark with the exit velo. He is dialed in. And it's only appropriate to reminisce about last night. The scene of the crime when Win Gurney ran through the center field wall. The lovely artwork of Sean Collins created that. But Gurney last night with a loose panel in center field was tracking back on a ball and ran right through it. Klosik takes high. It's not something you see every day. We went out there and we tested the other panels and pushed on him a bit. If he went slightly to the right, I think he comes back into play. If he went to the left, the same thing, but nope. Right through the wall. 1-0 to Ritchie, misses down. And Gurney from LMU, so is Richie Klosik, reuniting that relationship here in Bend. 2 of 4 LMU Lions that have donned the Elks threads this summer. Parker Heinz gets the call on that fastball. And Richie is starting to see it a lot better. I tell you, his batting practice today was really impressive. And that bat has a whole lot of pop. Peter misses low, 3-1. Parker Heinz so far this season has not struggled with the base on balls. Entering this out in 28 Ks to just 11 walks, but thus far, and yes, we're early, his command has not been there. Fastball just fouled away. Klosick stays alive. Naturally coming off a long game last night with a lot of emotions. You wonder what tonight brings, and it would be simple and self-explanatory if these players came out a bit sluggish. Klosick hits one foul over the head of Johnny Kemp again, staying alive. Kemp down there at first, David Diaz at first. Or Johnny Kemp down there at third, David Diaz at first. More than anything, these Elks looking to build off of something. 15-22 entering this game. Still 7 games below 500. Klosick will pop it up to the right side of the infield. In foul territory, Weber will reach up and stab on that catch. Did the bat go flying out of his hand there? Not sure if Pierce has a look at what just happened, but I looked down and the bat disappeared. So Klosick's up here and he pops up. Oh my goodness. I do not know if in my long time watching baseball have I seen an on-deck hitter lose the bat on a practice swing and have it fly so high in the air that it almost goes to the other on-deck circle. What is going on at Genna? What is in the water here? Yesterday it's Gurney running through center field. Today it's the on-deck batter losing his bat. What could possibly be going through the head of Parker Heinz, too, as the pitcher? Isaac Pfeiffer will dig in and miss away. The birthday boy. Tough start, but can make up for it with a knock himself. Pfeiffer so beloved in that clubhouse and had cupcakes for everybody today. Pierce Gordon, my producer, tried one. Said it was really good. Lemon. What was the frosting on it? Vanilla. Calling it a lemon pound cake. Okay. So unique in a cupcake a little bit. That's not the traditional texture. Pfeiffer well ahead 2-0, and he'll foul that away, just out of play. One more look at it. I mean, it goes almost over the net. The top part of the net is the only thing that kept that in the field of play. 2-1 fastball to the third baseman. Picked by Luna, throws offline into right field. Gurney to third, Pfeiffer to second, and then Farrell can't handle it there. The Elks have 2 runners in scoring position on the air. Luna did the hard part by nabbing that ball that was hit 84 off the bat. Not easy, but then the throw, it should have been a tailor-made double play. And instead it opens the door wide open for these Elks to potentially take the lead. Goodman did not get the start last night. The hometown kid back in there as Heinz will step off. Goodman a 227 average with 9 driven in. Heinz out of the windup, and Goodman fouls it off his foot. Hayden Smith making sure I get as much pine tar as possible so I don't see what happened to my teammate happen again. Ball in the outfield would bring it a run for these Elks. Infield creeping into Tat. Goodman takes up and away. Well, just like all of these kids at one point was a fan and watched these Elks intently growing up here. Now playing in that home color. As he serves that one into center field, but this is going to be deep enough to score. Hurd will make the catch. His throw's going to go all the way to third. Here comes Gertie, and the game is tied at 1. A productive at-bat from Will Goodman, now in the double-digit column in that category with 10. Good situational hitting you never overlook, and that was perfection. Bringing up Hayden Smith. Take a big hack and miss at it. Get to Parker Heinz early if you're the Elks. That is critical with how good he's been. It's been a tough thing for any team to do, frankly. He'll step off, and he's done that a couple of times where it could just be a lapse in focus, but not getting the same sign that he wants from his catcher in McCluskey. Continuously reset it. Smith will take low on the 0-1. Pfeiffer trot on back to second. Elks showing this inning why it's critical to sometimes just put the ball in play. On a ball that could have been a double play, Isaac Pfeiffer still reaches on the error. Putting pressure on that defense. 1-1 with 2 outs. The runner on second and Pfeiffer. Smith looking to break the tie. Take low. Hayden Smith still a new Elk and in that ever-changing catcher room that the Elks possess. Lost Marcus Galvin recently, the Washington State commit. Just heading back home for the summer like a lot of these guys do. As Smith will put a charge into a ball deep to right center field, but it hangs up enough where Isaiah Hurd makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. All tied at 1, though, after the error that helped Isaac Pfeiffer reach and the sacrifice fly from Will Goodman. Mount Bachelor Night here at Vince Genna Stadium, and one of the better mascots, him and Vinny, they rival one another, not in the same category, but we're happy to have Marty here. As Chapman will fire in a fastball to Michael Perazzo that's fouled away. And Vinny, such a gentleman. Everybody else first. I come in after. Good look at the barbecue deck tonight. Marty making his rounds. I'd want that autograph if I was a kid. They're all infatuated with the players, of course, but Marty's equally as cool. I believe he's a gopher of some sort. That would be my guess. He's a pine marten, Dom's telling me. As the 0-1 is skied to shallow right field, and Klosick comes in to make the catch. There it is. They got the pro camera out there. Good PR for Mr. Marty. And that kid in hype with him. Okay, for those that don't know what a pine marten is, and I didn't know what this was either, just looked it up. A cat-sized, agile mammal belonging to the weasel family. So I don't think calling him a gopher was that off. It's in the same family. Orem fouls it back. And Marty is a pine marten because they're native to the Cascade Mountains. Orem takes a breaking ball that misses up. So the choice connects the resort's brand into the local ecosystem and existing mountain landmarks is what this is telling me. Based on his attributes, I think you could get him out there on the field. Listen to this. Nimble, elusive, thrives in high alpine forests. We're in one here with all the trees surrounding. So Marty can start at shortstop tomorrow. How about that? Orem punched out looking his first time through. That was a part of Finn Chapman's clean start to this game. Take up and in. Watch out. And he ends up getting hit. Not sure where that got him. Let's see here. Ooh. There it didn't look like it hit anything. I think it probably got a piece of the jersey or maybe his tricep. Regardless for him, that's one you take every day of the week. Not too much pain and still a base. Chapman to Carson Luna. That one's called a strike at the bottom of the zone. Luna grounded out his first time to Will Goodman. He's been probably thinking about this at-bat for a bit after the error he made in the last half inning. Going to get back on track. Right there, it looked like it didn't get him. 0-1 called a strike, throw down to second. They can't get the blazing Orem. So much speed. So the Raptors have a runner in scoring position. Would love to see it one more time, just to get confirmation on supposedly what was a hit by pitch, but the more we look at it, we're not sure. Well ahead is Chapman on Luna. And he got him down and away on a perfect pitch. Just stuck with that breaking ball. That's strikeout number 5. One more look at this hit by pitch. If it grazed anything, it was barely the arm or jersey. And with how Orem turned, it's tough to tell what part of the body it got. Two gone for Josh Proctor. Fastball called a strike. Proctor struck out his first time through. These fans continue to pile in on this gorgeous Saturday night for baseball. Game 2 of the series with Game 3 coming tomorrow night. 0-1 breaking ball. Flared into shallow right, but Klosic's there. And that'll end the inning. Just a hit by pitch, but nothing more. Still tied at 1.
Let's hear it for a winning team right here in Bend. Bend Aircraft is soaring high, building the category leading all-composite, high-performance, single-engine turbine aircraft. And they're hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career with on-the-job training and fantastic benefits. Third baseman, number 6,
Brady Pettit.
Bottom of the third inning, that's our great PA guy, Dom Huson. Just celebrated his 24th birthday yesterday. What a guy that Dom is. 9-1-2 coming up for the Elks. Brady Pettit will take a strike. Pettit, Nato, and then Sanders. 3 straight starts for this lefty in Parker Heinz, where he has gone 5 innings or more. So that's something to keep eyes on. Pettit will take away 1-1. Brady Pettit last night was involved in one of the more controversial plays of the night. With runners on first and second and nobody out in extra innings, he squared to bunt, was hit by a pitch, and the question was, did he pull the bunt back or not? That curveball just gets the outside corner. It was a bit off. Even on replay, we couldn't tell if he did or did not go. The call by base umpire Kyle Sisk was that he didn't. And it ultimately saved the Elks. That runner that moved up to third, and Jace Miller was the guy that scored to win the game. Brady Pettit chases strike 3 in the dirt. That's the first K of the night for Parker Heinz.
now batting for the Elks, center fielder, number 10, Nato.
Brings up Keaton Nato. Nato walked to start this game. Heinz fires in a pitch that misses low. Parker Heinz at Fresno State as a freshman was good and excited for his next year with the Bulldogs. You know, with the ever-changing landscape of college athletics, Fresno State, a team that's a part of it, going to the Pac-12. So some more stiff competition that Parker Heinz will be facing. Nato from Cal State San Bernardino. And he'll take a strike on the inside. Eden looking to get things going with all of his speed at the top of this order. 2-2 now. What Heinz was able to do with Fresno State, just a 3.14 ERA and 14 1/3 innings pitched. Did have more walks than strikeouts, though. Has completely changed that narrative this summer. And gets Nato there swinging. Back-to-back Ks to start this third inning.
Now batting for the Elks, second baseman number 29, Troy.
Bringing up Troy Sanders, the right-handed bat. Troy coming off his trip to Victoria for the All-Star game. On the first pitch he saw in the first inning, grounded into a double play. He raved about that entire experience in British Columbia. He'll take a strike. Troy has been on a tear, especially with the long ball, and that's why he was a late addition to the game. Not get the start yesterday, but still in a spot where he's tied for second in the league in homers in about half as many games played. Right there with Sam Kane of Walla Walla, David Cron of Victoria. But just 9 runs batted in. He stepped up in a lot of spots like this with nobody on base. And he'll strike out this time on 3 pitches. A heck of a frame from Parker Heinz, the lefty. He strikes out the side.
All right, upstairs, it's time.
Welcome back to Vince Genna Stadium, top of the 4th inning. We're tied at 1. Aiden O'Neill up here in the broadcast booth. Pleasure having you along on this Saturday night. Another game that's neck and neck between these two foes, just like last night. And Finn Chapman continues to work along against Braden Watson this time around. We'll take a look around the West Coast League on this Saturday, July the 18th. How about that score? Edmonton-Port Angeles. 12-12. I'm not sure what that tiny text says. Oh, a makeup game. Okay. Drifters and Berries, 3-1. Springfield on top as that pitch just gets the outside corner. The Pippins are beating the Pickles in Yakima. That's a team to watch in the second half. They started off really strong. Victoria and the Apple Sox 1-0 there. Kamloops on top of the Bellingham Bells 3-0. Kelowna beating Nanaimo 1-0. Sweets and Knights tied 0-0, top two. And Edmonton and Port Angeles in that final game. Must have been a doubleheader today. Edmonton won it 4-2. Looks like they were making it up tonight from a rain out before. That must mean that Canada's field is grass, would be my guess. Have not been up there yet. Another K for Chapman. Watson chases. That breaking ball from Finn has been invisible. That is his 6th strikeout already. That swing and miss has been on full display. Had a lot of confidence when the Elks have been looking around for more arms, and he came to mind. Teammates with Brady Pettit at St. Mary's. Isaiah Hearn will take up and away. And all of those Gales cut from the same cloth of respect of great baseball players. Been a joy to get to know them. Hearn will take a heater that misses in. And a peek at the West Coast League standings. Bend Elks have some ground to make up at 15-22. Although the Raptors are losers of 10 straight, they won the first half, so they have a playoff spot locked up. And what that means is that there's only 3 other spots for the taking. At the moment, the Walla Walla Sweets would have that second half crown, which would mean that 2 other teams in the overall record department would get in the postseason. Pickles and Knights would be those 2 teams right now who have been staples in the West Coast League South. As the season goes on, the Elks need to go 13-4 to make the playoffs. Based on our mathematical calculations, that 3-1 is called a strike just on the inner third. Isaiah Hearn can't believe it and apologizes to Kyle Sisk for tossing his bat. It did just get the black on the inside corner, but you see why Hearn out of the corner of his eye too would see Hayden Smith reaching across the strike zone and thinking that's a ball. Didn't want any part of the Oregon commit in his first at bat, where he walked him. Chapman gets him on the payoff. Broke down the swing of Hearn. Strikeout number 7. And this is becoming masterful quickly from Finn Chapman in his Elks debut. Absolutely went around and no appeal needed from Kyle Sisk. Reagan McCluskey with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. 2 pitchers going toe-to-toe so far tonight. McCluskey chases away. I mean, they are just not picking up that pitch. Down and away. Whatever that sweeping breaking ball is doing is causing them fits, to put it lightly. Chapman back to it. That one off the plate. It has that luxury now to throw it anywhere in the count and hope that he gets chases. Lusky, 1 of 2 hits for the Raptors tonight with the single that came in the second. Peter misses up. Elks pitching coach Wes Harper hoping to get some length out of Finn Chapman tonight, and that pitch count would allow him to do so. Yesterday when that game took a turn after a 5-0 lead, had to throw a lot of his top guns. Filthy on the 2-1. Jared Robles ended up coming into the game early. Hudson Chula, Jackson Ashley, Josh Jackson, Alex Figueroa, they all threw. Some will be available based on the limited usage, but some decisions to be made in the head of that man. Chapman spikes a fastball, and Smith comes up with it on the back pick. Especially considering the 7 strikeouts from Finn Chapman to only be at 58 pitches is miraculous. He punches out the side. Smith applies the tag. That'll end the inning. And Finn Chapman now with 8 Ks on the night. Another 0 for the Elks. Now looking for some offense when we come back. Bottom of the 4th inning, there's a look at the skip. Alan Cox. Shades on, his future's too bright. Jace Miller will start off this inning. And foul it away. Allen, his 3rd year with the team as the manager, the first 2 campaigns, made the postseason, so those expectations now become naturally higher. And it's been a peculiar start. Hoping that this series can kickstart that momentum. Parker Heinz still going, will fire in a breaking ball that's called a strike. Miller, Gurney, and Klosik. 3, 4, and 5 in the order for the Elks. Chase's first time flew out to the right fielder and Farrell. Take low this time. It wasn't only the Elks yesterday that used a lot of arms. The Raptors also threw 5 different pitchers. So that directly correlating with 2 nice starts from both Parker Heinz and Finn Chapman. A reliever for both dugouts and the respective coaching staffs. Miller chases down and away. Parker Heinz with his 4th consecutive strikeout going back to last inning. That'll bring up Win Gurney, who's seeing a beach ball right now. Huge swing and a miss. Gurney yesterday sprinted through that center field wall. And he's locked in on offense, too. A single yesterday at 107. And to start this game, another one hit that hard off the bat. There it is. In all honesty, shocked no one's made us take it down. I love the artwork, but this lasting to the 4th inning is impressive. Heinz is 0-2. Another K. This is becoming marvelous from the Raptors southpaw. 5 straight strikeouts, and prior to this run, he had not had one yet.
Right fielder, number 31, Ridgefield.
So with 2 outs, it's Richie Klosik. Fresno State has to be excited about the prospect of Parker Heinz. That breaking ball is checked on, and he went, according to Henry DeJesus down there at first. Klosik popped out to Weber at first, his first time. 0-1 misses down. With Gurney and Klosik both going to LMU, a season where they only won 14 total games. But you get all these young players returning, and they hope that things turn around in the near future. Klosik pops up to the second baseman in Orem. A 1-2-3 4th inning, and 7 straight retired from the lefty Parker Heinz, who has found a rhythm here at Genna. Top of the 5th inning, a pitcher's duel with both Chapman and Heinz going back and forth. 3 combined hits in this game. And Jackson Weber will start off the 5th, swinging through a fastball at the top of the zone. You love making good first impressions in any walk of life, and that's what Finn Chapman is doing here in front of the crowd in Bend. Weber struck out his first time through. Rounds that softly to Pettit at third. His throw to first, just off the line. But the tag applied, and Jackson Weber in a considerable amount of pain just beyond first base. I think he might have got his hand jammed. Let's see this one more time. Great hustle by Hayden Smith backing up that play. With that tag applied, and I think his finger just got caught near the base. Ouch. I hope that Weber's all right. You never want to see any injuries in summer ball. Farrell swings through it, 0-1. Finn Chapman has been the king of swing and miss. 8 strikeouts, and in the 4th, struck out the side. Now 0-2. Just get in the inner third, and on those 50-50 calls on the black, convincing home plate umpire Kyle Sisk to give him the benefit of the doubt. Oh man, Finn Chapman is just rolling. 9 punch outs from the St. Mary's right-hander. And this has been as good of a debut as you can ask for. The efficiency, 9 Ks to just 1 walk, and only 2 hits allowed. Bring up Michael Perazzo with 2 outs, and he'll take down an end. Coming from Vacaville, California, Chapman was the number 26 ranked right-handed pitcher in the state. Finished his senior season with a 1.14 ERA. And then carried that over to the University of Oregon. But while it didn't work out there, that next chapter at St. Mary's, he's hoping to continue to improve after a clunky 2025 and 2026. This looks like a completely different pitcher, though. Those stats don't align with anything we're seeing tonight, as he has been so good on another strike. Brady Pettit, his teammate at St. Mary's, him and Finn went through a lot this last year, beating UCLA twice in the Bruins' own regional. Now competing together in summer ball. Chapman gets the call just on the inner third. And on the brink of punching out another hitter. Top of the 5th, nobody on. In this game that has lacked offense, but if you are a fan of that old school style of baseball, that's what this game has written all over it. Tally it up again. Finn Chapman. Double digits in the strikeout column, number 10. One of the more dominant performances we've seen on this rubber in 2026 so far. Parker Heinz's night is done. He was dominant in just 4 innings of work, and they'll turn it over to the righty, Tyler Walton, who's had an up and down 2026 so far with an ERA hovering around 13 and a 2.5 whip. But early in this contest, a good chance to get back on track. Just 3 combined hits. 2 for the Raptors and 1 for the Elks. But the Elks were able to get that run in thanks to an error earlier on by Carson Luna. And the error came with Isaac Pfeiffer up. Pfeiffer, Goodman, and Smith to start this 5th frame against Walton. As they're all singing Pfeiffer happy birthday. That's proper. Great job by the Elks crowd. Bringing in his new age as the 1-0 is golfed down the left field line, but Proctor has room and will make the catch. The lone hit for the Elks came back in the 2nd inning with wind gurneys, 107-mile-per-hour knock through the left side. Since then, it's been quiet, but Will Goodman was responsible for the lone run that came in on his sac fly. That's grounded right back up the middle and through for a base hit. There's hit number 2 right on cue. Goodman continuing to have a nice night. Digging in is Hayden Smith from the right side. Bolton, the red shirt from UC Santa Barbara. Firing a fastball at 88. That's called a strike. Smith, after being at Glendale Community College, the Elks catcher tonight, where he had a monster year hitting over 300. Now committed to Utah. Flew out in his first at-bat. And here he'll bat one on the ground to Peraza at short. He'll go to second himself. The throw to first. A double play. And the second time that an Elk is grounded into a double play that started with Michael Peraza. We will go to the 6th. A severe lack of offense on both sides, but making for a close contest on a Saturday night at Genna. Top of the 6th inning and a new arm in the game for the Bend Elks. After the dominant start from Finn Chapman, where he went 5 innings and punched out 10, it's Chris Peronace who fires in a strike. Peronace, the southpaw from Glendale Community College, a 4.91 ERA with a .95 whip, which means likely better days ahead, as Peronace has dealt with some unlucky nature in his first couple of appearances. He'll face Orem, Luna, and Proctor, the heart of this order. Good chance for the Raptors to break this tie. Orem will foul it right back. Peronace and Hayden Smith, a battery that pitched to each other a lot at Glendale Community College. Familiar, doing it again in Bend, but Braden Orem will line a single into right field. And that's the first hit that the Ridgefield Raptors have had since the 2nd inning, where Reagan McCluskey picked up a hit himself. That gets a Raptor on base and also gets some speed on the paths for Carson Luna. Luna's 0 for 2. Guys, the first pitch he sees to center field. Nato has to come in late on a dead sprint, but will make the catch. They've contained one of the best hitters in the Raptors lineup in Luna. And we'll turn the page to Josh Proctor. This game's had a good pace to it. If you're looking to get in and get out at Genna Stadium. In that sort of game for you. Perfect for everybody that likes to get in bed by 9 o'clock. That breaking ball's called a strike. Snap throw down to first. Or did he call that a ball? Didn't see a signal from Kyle Sisk, but that was a whole ball in the strike zone. With Smith popping up, didn't get that call. Now the 1-0 also touching the black, but doesn't get it. And that's going to result in some groans from the Elks dugout. Very well could be 0-2 in this count. Proctor 0 for 2 with the strikeout and a lineout. Aaron Ace gets the call on the outer third. Aaron Ace at Glendale Community College was a workhorse, multiple different roles, and seeking that next part of his story now. Currently in the transfer portal. Ground ball would get him out of this. How about a strikeout? Ties up Proctor. And Aaron Ace's first is the second out in this sixth. Just knows how to pitch. It isn't going to overpower you with velocity, but watching a guy like Chris go to work and the way that he's selective in each pitch count, it's really fun to watch. Pitching is not an easy thing to do. Takes pride in that selection. Now Braden Watson. Lone responsibility of a Raptor home run tonight and the lone run of the game, where he went deep to left field in the second. Struck out his last time through. New commit to Evansville after his freshman year at UCSB. Check swing. Went around completely. There was that club deep into the night. And although Gurney gave it a chase, ran out of room quickly. That's all Watson's done since he's become a Raptor is hit. Spray that one foul and out of play. See the shadows already starting to set on the bricks beyond home plate. How quick this game is going, some of the biggest parts of it will be affected by the sun. Watson down the third baseline, glove by Pettit on the backhand. The throw to first on 2 hops. Brady Pettit flashing the leather at the hot corner. Ends the sixth. in the home half of the sixth. Still tied at 1. And although Tyler Walton has had a rough summer so far, that first inning in relief, just 5 pitches thrown, no strikeouts, but pitch to contact, and it paid off. Hitters 9, 1, and 2 due up for Bend. And after Brady Pettit just made that great defensive play, how do the baseball gods reward you? Give you an at-bat to start the inning. Pettit struck out his first time and will take in tight. After the game yesterday, the Elks improved 10-9 at home, 1 game above 500. Struggles have come away from Genna. But in this weekend series before a 6-game road trip next week, you want to relish about being in front of this home crowd. Just a special environment. That's the one thing Nate Snakenborg talked about on his walk-off hit. He said, "I heard a roar." Pettit fouls it off the bricks. I think we could make Nate Snakenborg roar t-shirts. That last name, Snakenborg, feels like one out of Narnia. And then maybe a lion could relate to that. Pettit takes strike 3 on the outside corner. And Tyler Walton doing the same thing that Parker Heinz did, just pound the zone. It's working. Top of the order, Keaton Nadeau. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Take a breaking ball for a strike. Kyle Sisk has had a smooth job back there tonight. Each pitcher on both sides filling up that zone, making things easy. Nadeau fouls it off the catcher in McCluskey. Has to take a quick walk. Sisk will go and chat with Walton. The Raptors and the Elks. No fail in playing these really close games. 7-6 last night, the final with the Snakenborg walk-off. And even dating back to the opening series, they were neck and neck. There's a reality where the Elks' 3-1 record against the Raptors could be the exact other way. Nadeau takes. Walton has found a rhythm. He has sped up a lot more. For Tyler Walton, the first time he's pitched in live games for quite a while. Breaking ball's popped up, fouling out of play. Walton being a part of that great program at UCSB where he ultimately redshirted. But tough to make your way with so much talent around you in a short time with the program. As Nadeau takes strike 3 on the outer third. A perfect pitch from Tyler Walton. These Elks are striking out at a high rate in these last couple of innings. 2 outs in the 6th.
Sanders.
Man, it's so
Troy Sanders taken tight with 2 outs. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but we know his power can change a game with the swing of one bat. But here he'll pop up to the shortstop in Perazo. Each inning flying by at lightning speed. And this one, 1, 2, 3 again. Still tied at 1. On to the 7th. Already on to the 7th inning here at Vince Genna Stadium. More action for Chris Peronace out of the bullpen facing Isaiah Hearn. Take up and in tight on a breaking ball. Hearn, McCluskey, Weber, 6, 7, and 8 in the order. And becoming that time of night at Genna that's so tough to hit for left-handed batters, especially left on left with Peronace. Breaking ball misses low. Just a couple of Elks stretching in the bullpen, but with the plethora of arms used on Friday, not as many options as normal for Wes Harper. And Peronace will lose Isaiah Hearn to open up the 7th. The second time that the Oregon commit has walked. And that'll bring up Reagan McCluskey. There's two sides of it. Of course, it's one of the more gorgeous sunsets you'll see. Defines Central Oregon. But when you're on that field and it's so hard to see, rather that it wouldn't be there. Lusky takes a strike. He's 1 for 2 on the night, one of just 3 hits from this Raptors squad. That came all the way back in the 2nd. McCluskey softly to Sanders at second, makes the catch. Fires back to first, not in time. But right place, right time for Troy. And a quick first out that's critical after that leadoff walk. McCluskey might have broken his bat on that one too. Got completely sawed off on an 83-mile-an-hour pitch in tight. Brings up Jackson Weber. Ropes one foul down the left field line. Weber got dinged up last time on that soft hit where he dove at first and rolled over his hand. Good to see that he's all right. 0-1 misses down and in tight. Weber is 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout looking and a ground out. Even the patrons beyond home plate having to shade their eyes from this tough sun at a tough time of the night. Weber into shallow right center field. Klosick with a good jump, tracks it, and there's 2 outs. Bringing up Reed Farrell. In this time where the Ridgefield Raptors have lost 10 straight league games, they would have hoped that that all-star break and a lapse in play could have resulted in things turning around, but it's been that offense that was so good the first time the Elks and Raptors took each other on. It has just not been the same. Fastball from Peronace is called the strike to Farrell, who's punched out a couple of times tonight. No JT Summers, no Zach Wattis on this trip. And on the flip side, you've already clinched a playoff spot, though. So you have that assurance that things will still be all right. Still host that first-round matchup. Ridgefield now not at the complete top of a variety of offensive categories like runs batted in, but still towards it. Leading the league in home runs with 35. Just hasn't fully come together. Hitters count, though, here for the 9-hole bat. And Farrell takes low. Chris Peronace's inning with just 26 pitches. Nobody warming in the Elks bullpen. Top of the order on deck with Michael Perazzo here in the 7th. Still knotted up at 1. It's softly to Goodman, crashing in at short. His throw to first on the money. And gets Reed Farrell to end the frame. Stretch time here at Genna. Good play by Goodman. Still tied at 1. Fans have stretched. Bottom of the 7th inning, still tied at 1 as Jace Miller will take a strike. Miller, Gurney, Klosik. At this stage of the game, the hitters you want coming up. But Jace just swinging through a lot of those pitches. Miller so far is 0 for 2. This is the 3rd inning of work for Tyler Walton, who piggybacked the lefty Parker Heinz that started this game. And Miller grounds one softly. This could do the trick. Walton coming off the mound. His throw's not in time, but a heck of an effort from Walton. The fact that that play was even close deserves a pat on the back. Elks will take the infield single. He did a Jeter jump throw coming off the mound on a barehanded play and was pretty close to getting Miller, who runs well. That angle does it even more justice with how tough the play was. Gurney scolds one to the 3rd baseman, and Luna goes to 2nd. The 2nd time Luna's thrown it away. Miller to 3rd, and the Elks have runners on the corners with nobody out. Gurney hit the ball hard at 100, but Luna, it was like Groundhog Day from his error in the 2nd inning when Isaac Pfeiffer was up. A tailor-made 5-4-3 double play that he throws to the left side of Braden Oram. Running on the pitch is Gurney. Throw goes all the way down to 2nd, and they got him. So much trust in the cannon of Reagan McCluskey. And a hose for the first out of this 7th. He got him by a considerable amount, too. That was a strong, strong throw. Bolton working awfully quick. With that throw out, the infield will now come in. Ball in the outfield still gives the Elks the lead. Losick chases away though, it's 1-2. Spot in this game where you don't want to look back on it and regret not cashing in. Miller waiting 90 feet away. And this crowd sensing the same thing, how critical this is. Ritchie strikes out down and away. The Elks, a matter of a minute ago, had runners on the corners with no outs. There's now a runner on third with 2 outs. And it comes down to Isaac Pfeiffer on his birthday to see if he can pick up a knock. Dribbles one softly to Luna at third, his throw to first, in time. And in the blink of an eye, the inning is over with this game still equalized. Top of the order coming up for the Ridgefield Raptors. And the good old sun delay timeout. Chris Cota did this yesterday with Isaiah Hearn. Michael Perazzo at the top of the order. Perazzo, Orem, and Luna. That last inning for the Elks is one that pops up in your nightmares because you have runners on the corners with nobody out and do not score. Gurney gets thrown out at second. Losick strikes out, and then Isaac Pfeiffer downs one into the ground to Carson Luna, who made up for his error earlier in the inning. There's that gorgeous mountain line. Sisters Mountains in the distance. Just happy that it's all much clearer. Still hazy skies with the fires in the area, but nothing like yesterday. There's Peronace. Fired a fastball. Bunt attempt. Michael Perazzo that goes awry. The third inning of work from Peronace. It started with Finn Chapman going 5 innings as tonight's starting pitcher. Punched out 10. Perazzo into center, and it falls in front of Keaton Nadeau. Leadoff single from the Raptors' leadoff man. In business here in the 8th. Rouzo with some speed off of first two. The Elks have to be careful. Has 11 stolen bases this summer. That's second on the team. Orem squares to bunt late, and it goes right back to the net. So last night the heart was pounding late, and the adrenaline was flowing for the last 40 minutes of the game for everybody. We're approaching another one tonight, a nail-biter, all the way down to the wire. And the former Bend Elk from a year ago, Orem, digging in here late. Throw over to check on Perazo, who's dancing off of first. Orem's reached a couple of times, a hit by pitch and a single in his last two at-bats. Squares again. Takes. And the snap throw down to first knuckles Jace Miller. A pitch that just missed outside. Great crowd on hand tonight, although not the same thunderous group that was here on Friday. 1,045 in total. Seemingly always over 1,000, especially on the weekends. Really keeping close tabs on Michael Perazo, and understandably so. You factor in his stolen base total with the stage of the game that we're currently in. Orem squares again, pulls back and takes up. Sometimes harder for whatever reason to throw strikes when the guy is squaring a bunt. Squares and takes at the base of the zone. Orem pulled back because he thought it was down. It was. And a gift from Kyle Sisk. This crowd of over 1,000 looking for a pop. Orem fouls it away. Orem wasn't with the Elks his entire summer in 2025. Spent the back half of it with the Cowlitz Black Bears. Since disbanded in the West Coast League, but the same ownership group as the Raptors. Orem grounds it to Pettit at third, throws to second for one, throw back to first, double play! Even with the speed of Orem, 5-4-3 around the horn, and critical from Chris Perones, getting that runner off the bases. That is major, and there's not another guy you'd want it to be hit to more than Pettit. With a perfect throw to Sanders, Orem may have beat that out. But Henry DeJesus says they got him. All will be chased after by the Elks bat boy. It's Perones back in the windup where he's most comfortable. That fastball will miss outside. Here we go. Nice and slowed down for you. That is so close. Fastball misses up and away. If that went to replay review, I think they would just stick with the call on the field. If that did exist in the West Coast League, of course. Luna takes a strike. Broken bat to Sanders at second, and he makes the catch. Chris Perones take a bow after giving up the leadoff single. Gets the double play by a fraction of an inch. As close as it gets. The encore has been different, but still as close as it can possibly get. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. I'm Aiden O'Neill, your voice of the Bend Elks. Saturday night baseball, living up to it, a night after the West Coast League game of the week. And these Elks and Raptors, I mean, a pitcher's duel. There's only been 7 combined hits, 2 combined runs. And it feels like now the next team to score will win this game. Each side, after yesterday emptying the bullpen from Chris Cota on the Raptor side and Alan Cox with Bend. Just 2 pitchers tonight for each group. Goodman fouls it away. Goodman, Smith, Pettit. 7, 8, and 9 in the bottom of this order. Goodman's been one of the best offensive contributors so far tonight. And he'll take a breaking ball that misses down and away. Thank you all so much for joining us on Bend Elks YouTube tonight. Make sure to hit subscribe for all things Elks. Goodman well ahead, 3-1. The one thing that is for sure is if you come to these Elks games, you're going to get a close game. As Goodman takes ball 4. Second consecutive time the Pepperdine shortstop has reached. And the go-ahead run late here in the bottom of the 8th on the bases. Goodman not a big base stealer, but still average speed. I wonder if a bunt could be on for the catcher at Hayden Smith. He does square, and he gets it down right in front of home plate. Walton's only play is to first. A perfect bunt. Now the go-ahead run in scoring position. To get it down on the first pitch, you see 2. Perfect. And deserves a round of applause from his dugout. And a good chance for Brady Pettit against this righty in Walton, about to throw his 35th pitch in relief. Takes outside. Pettit is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Watched his good buddy go to work in Finn Chapman to start this game, who dominated. Looking for his own moment in front of this home crowd. Checks his swing and misses low. Appeal to Henry DeJesus, says he did not go. After Pettit, it's the top of the order. If nothing else, looking to keep the line moving. Base hit should score. Will Goodman. Pettit takes down. 3 balls and no strikes. See there that no chance that he went around. Would be shocked if he got turned away in the 3-0 count with the green light. He does not, and it's right down Broadway for a strike. That sun creating a picturesque night at Genna. Hoping the game can result in the same. Pettit takes ball 4, and Walton slips off of the turf mound as that pitch was thrown, coming up with a limp and grabbing at his chain. The second walk of this inning. Let's take one more look at it. Yeah, simply just slipped, falling to his left knee. No look from Chris Cota. This guy is all good. And Keita Nato digs in from the right side. Nato flips it into shallow left and down for a hit. Goodman's going to stop at third as he had to wait to make sure that wasn't caught. A softly hit single from Keaton loads the bases. This crowd really starting to get into it. And sometimes barrels are truly overrated. If you can find that outfield grass, doesn't matter too much. Who else would you rather have up than your all-star, Troy Sanders? Ball in the outfield gives the Elks the lead. Sanders swings at the first pitch to the shortstop, and Perazo goes to second for one. Throw to first. A double play ends the inning, and no run scores. Sanders got greedy and chased outside an 81-mile-per-hour pitch. And the greatest chance of the night for the Elks. They cannot cash in. One more look at it. Perazo to Orem, who had to turn it quickly with Pettit, or that's Nato breathing down his neck. And Sanders hustled the best that he possibly could. But with the force outs all around, that runner and Will Goodman does not score. The Elks will go to Diego Lovesey out of the bullpen when we come back. To the ninth, all tied up at 1. Last night we had extra innings. Why not just do it again, right? These two teams going back and forth. Thanks for joining us on Bend Elks YouTube or WCL Pixel Out. It's been a blast. Let's take one final look around the West Coast League while we get you ready for this 9th inning. Drifters on top of the Berries, 4-3, bottom 7. And a tough one there. Pippins on top of the Pickles, 7-0. As Diego Lovesey's first pitch misses away. Apple Sox beating the Harbor Cats 3-2. Kamloops on top of Bellingham 5-4. Kelowna beating Nanaimo 5-4. Top 7 there. Knights on top of the Sweets 4-1. And then the 2 games of the doubleheader are final. Riverhawks and Lefties split it. Diego Lovesey, the right-hander out of Glendale Community College, committed to St. Mary's. And his 1-1 fastball will miss up. Phoenix, Arizona native tasked with this closing role tonight. A 4.32 ERA he possesses in 8 1/3. He'll face Josh Proctor, who hits it foul. Lovesey, the Phoenix, Arizona native, coming from a state that's highly touted when it comes to baseball competition. Last worked in Portland on July the 13th, where he gave up a long home run to Luis Castillo. But has been good in this spot. The 2-2 breaking ball misses away. Full count. Proctor, Watson, and Hearn. 3 of the most dangerous hitters in the Ridgefield lineup due up this inning. Tapped. softly. Does anybody have a play? Pettit on the bare hand, his throw not in time. It was hit too slowly where nobody had a shot. And an infield single puts the go-ahead run on the bases in the ninth. Right out in front of home plate. Even Brady Pettit, who did everything right there. No chance. And it brings up Braden Watson, who's responsible for the lone run for the Raptors tonight on his solo shot. That came all the way back in the second, which now feels like ages ago. Lovesy gets the call on the outer third. Lone hit was that homer. And he'll take a pitch that misses just down at 88. It's been a strike at sometimes tonight from Kyle Sisk. There does not get the call. Elks need a timely ground ball just like the Raptors got as Watson takes a strike. Braden Watson, since he stepped foot in Ridgefield, has been one of their better hitters. Committing to Evansville after redshirting at UCSB, but he chases down and away there for strike three. It does squirt away enough, though, where Josh Proctor's able to move up into scoring position. A huge 90 feet in the ninth inning. By the naked eye, it looked like one that Smith should have blocked, but it squirts away to his right. And it gives Isaiah Hearn, who homered last night, a chance to uplift the Raptors. First pitch is crushed. Deep to left field. Gurney giving chase. It's over his head. Proctor's going to score. Hearn moves up to second. It's an RBI double in the ninth. And the Raptors have the lead. Isaiah Hearn, who's been so composed in the box and is a professional hitter, took a fastball on the outer third and hit it 100 miles per hour, sailing over the head of Win Gurney. An easy score for Proctor. Now the Elks playing catch-up. Lovesy delivers to McCluskey. He serves one into right center. That's down for a hit. Nato kicks it in center, far enough away where Hearn gets the wave, and it's 3-1 Ridgefield. This game was knotted up moments ago, and now Ridgefield on top after a couple of critical hits, and the third hit given up for Diego Lovesy this inning. Reagan McCluskey has hit all series long and once again comes up with a big hit. For McCluskey, that's RBI number 18, which is towards the top of his team in that category. And not done yet. It's Jackson Weber, the hitter. Weber into left center. Another hit for Ridgefield. McCluskey's going to go all the way to third. Nato's throw goes into the cutoff man. And Diego Lovesy, since he's come in out of the bullpen, has gotten rocked by these Raptors. First pitch swinging. And Lovesy threw that on the black, but these Raptors are seeing something with Diego. It's allowing for their eyes to light up. Pitching coach Wes Harper will call time. The Elks have their backs against the wall now. Just some stirring in the bullpen. That's Owen Smith with the hoodie on. He may start to throw. Braven Nason also down there. Carter Hess, Josh Johnson. Nobody actively throwing. Harper with just a quick chat. Not much else to say at this point in the game. To think about how the game of baseball can change so quickly. In just the last inning, the Elks had the bases loaded with 1 out with a chance to take the lead. And now they're on the other side of it. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Fouled away down the right field line. You feel for Diego. He's pounding the strike zone, and a lot of times that's half the battle. But these Raptors have just been ready to go in the box. First to bunt, pulls back and takes up. Corner infielders creeping in Pettit and Miller. On third is McCluskey, on first is Weber. One, a perfect push bunt that trickles foul. And Miller fields it there. 1-2 now. These Raptors, losers of 10 straight coming into this game tonight. Hunting for a victory after being the best team in the league in the first half. Reed Farrell, one of the few hitters in this lineup that hasn't gotten in on the action tonight offensively, after the Raptors were held down by the starter Finn Chapman. Stealing on the play is Weber. It's hit to Goodman on one hop, and he air mills Miller. McCluskey scores. To third is Weber. Now runners on second and third with 1 out. This just slipped out of the hand of Will Goodman. There's no other way to put it. It would have been a tough play, and he hurried it, but into the dugout and forced the Elks to scurry away. Almost to our camera, just to the right of it. To stay in this game, critical for Diego Lovesey to keep this deficit right here at 3. And Perazo's laid on his fastball. The lack of timely hitting for the Elks has hurt. 3 runners left on base in the 9th, the moment they won't forget. Perazo dribbles one softly to Miller. He'll check the runner, go to first himself, and touch it there. A nice play to keep the runner where he's at. Perazo just chased low in the zone. That's textbook for all the kids watching at home. How to check that runner back and still get the out with plenty of time. Braden Orem. Take down and away on a fastball. Game was 1-1 for the majority of it, but 3 runs here in this 9th inning from the Ridgefield Raptors has changed everything. Lovesey's heater misses up. Orem from Lower Columbia Community College a couple of years ago. They played in the same stadium as the Cowlitz Black Bears. Rounds that to Brady Pettit at third, who will throw to first and end the inning, but not after. 3 runs from the Ridgefield Raptors. An RBI double from Isaiah Hearn, an RBI single from Reagan McCluskey. Elks playing catch-up, 3 outs to go on Bend Elks YouTube. Bottom of the ninth inning. The Elks now trail it by 3. 4-1 Raptors on top. And Aaron Lewis entering the game, the southpaw out of the University of Portland, a former Bend Elk, looking to close them out in a safe spot as his first pitch misses away. Miller, Gurney, and Klosik. Lewis faces a guy that the Bend Elks in 2025 just used as a batter. Ridgefield using him as an arm, and Miller goes right back up the middle to open up this frame. His second hit of the night, 95 off the bat. Lewis tried to glove it, but too difficult with how hard it was hit. Brings up Win Gurney. Gurney to the shortstop, Perazo. Flip to second for one, throw to first, another double play. The Elks tonight have hit into 3 6-4-3 double plays, and all of them have been equally as backbreaking. This one just ends the rally entirely in its tracks. One final chance for the Elks is Richie Klosik, the right-handed bat, and he'll foul it away. Chance for an element of revenge from Aaron Lewis, going against his former school, the San Francisco, California native. Klosik checks his swing. He went around, according to Henry DeJesus, and the Elks are down to their final strike. A game for a lot of it where it looked like the Elks had a good chance at coming out victorious. Now on the brink of defeat. Lewis had 37 at-bats with Portland at almost 300. Same conference as Richie Klosik. That fastball misses up, and Lewis trips on the turf just in front of the mound. I wonder if there's a landing spot issue with now two pitchers slipping. Klosik takes a pitch that was a strike, but Kyle Sisk does not oblige. Right on the black, and Lewis will have to keep working. See that part of the turf starting to turn more of a whitish color because of all the guys landing there. Grounded back up the middle, a base hit for Richie Klosik. And if you take away the Win Gurney double play, the Elks might have a big rally going, but instead it's just a two-out single. It allows the birthday boy to keep hitting.
Now batting for the Elks, designated hitter number 25, Isaac Pfeiffer.
Another chance for the birthday boy and Fife, who's 0 for 3. And time is now called by Kyle Sisk. Ready to go again. And Pfeiffer pops up on the first pitch. It's the second baseman in Orem trailing over to his left. He'll reach up and make the two-handed squeeze. The Ridgefield Raptors have snapped their 10-game losing streak, and it comes in a 4-1 victory here at Genna.
Elks fans, thank you again for coming out to another edition of Bend Elks Baseball here at Genna Stadium. We'll be back
Tough night tonight for these Bend Elks, who were tied for a lot of this game 1-1 with the Ridgefield Raptors, but there were moment after moment where the Elks couldn't cash in offensively. And then when the ninth inning came around for Ridgefield, they were ready, pushed 3 across, and that ended up being the big difference maker. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. A part of this season for the Bend Elks where they need as many wins as humanly possible. And I think that's what makes tonight ultra frustrated is, and the stat that I threw out earlier was you got to go 13-4 the rest of the way. You know how much you need these wins. And to be that close, to be tied 1-1 with your best hitter coming up arguably in Troy Sanders, an all-star, and he grounds into a double play in the 8th inning. Those were the sorts of moments that changed everything, that put the ball in the Ridgefield Raptors' court. And then I look at the 9th inning. Isaiah Hearn, who tormented the Elks yesterday, had a big double to the opposite field and knocked in a run. That ultimately was the run that gave the Raptors the lead. And then they ended up scoring 3 runs in that frame that changed everything. After Hearn, it was Reagan McCluskey with an RBI single, then Weber singled, then Farrell committed an error. Diego Lovesey had a tough night and threw a lot of strikes, but the Raptors were just ready to hit. This was Hearn's double where he went to the opposite field almost 100 miles per hour off the bat over the head of Wynn Gurney on the warning track. Brought in the runner and Josh Proctor. He scored with ease. And McCluskey dunked it into center field. Some of these hits for Ridgefield weren't hit particularly hard, but they still got the job done. Hearn scored there. Then Weber put together a single into left. Nato did a good job with the slide, but even the throw to the cutoff man, all for naught. Ball flipped to Goodman. He committed a throwing error well over the head of Miller. And ultimately, that inning ended up being the difference. When we're looking at the positives, because I always love diving into that first, the Elks and their starting pitcher, Finn Chapman, they might have something in this St. Mary's kid because he was spectacular. 5 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts on the mound. I'm trying to think. I don't believe there's been another Elk with double-digit punch-outs. I'll confirm that. But it was a generational-esque performance, and that short of a workload to still punch out that many batters, to still be efficient. For a guy that's had some command concerns coming from St. Mary's, got lit up there this last year. He looked so comfortable. He looked like one of the best arms the Elks have had. So hats off to Finn. Chris Peronace was great, and it just wasn't Diego Lovesey's night. But sometimes that's just how baseball goes, and props to Ridgefield. Staying resilient, staying consistent amidst all this adversity, amidst losing 10 straight. They know they have the playoff spot locked up, but looking to get some more consistent baseball on the horizon. What that means, this Ridgefield Raptors win, is that we have a grudge match tomorrow, 5:05 first pitch at Genna. Make sure to get your tickets. If not, we'll see you on this YouTube live stream. Before my producer, Pierce Gordon, I'm Aiden O'Neill, signing off. We will see you tomorrow. The Raptors snap the skip.